Perfect. I unfortunately have to run, but this is a great conversation. Thank you everyone for contributing.
Thank you. Thanks for bringing this up.
Of course. Bye.
Thanks. Bye. So the second discussion item was improving naming. So I don't know. I think maybe Jens, you wanted to talk about this. Is this your item? Michael had to go as well, but we can finish with that.
I don't think I added it.
Any other topic.
Sorry, I don't think I added it. Yeah, it's
okay.
Still interesting.
So we can talk about this if you'd like, or we can talk about something else if someone has a topic they want to discuss.
While we're on naming, I'll just add that I recently refactored the naming spec to make it a bit more searchable, alphabetical ordering, just nicer to work with. This was the reason for this is because a maintainer of DBT core came and was like, oh, we're telling our DBT adapters to implement open lineage naming specs, but they really can't find somewhere where like, oh, this is how you should document your open lineage namespace and name. So we organize things a bit. Less discussion, more FYI.
Harel, you mean the textual description of the names, right? Is that what you're talking about? Yeah. Okay.
Exactly.
Would you be willing to do a write-up on that, to be like, here's, one idea of maybe not best practice, but here's a good practice for naming? Because I think that would be an interesting, it might not be like a blog post, but it could be a, guidance.
It's here.
Oh. Gotcha. So it's nothing new that you came up with.
It's nothing new. It's just, it's easier to use now.
Gotcha. I'll have a look at that.
Cool. Sorry, that was it. Detour.
And I think that's the topic that was listed, right? I think. Sorry, I misread it. I just.
Oh, it was okay. I didn't. Okay.
It's listed at improving naming, right? So I think maybe it's improving the spec. I don't know. Michael prepared the slides and.
So I think it would still be worthwhile discussing whether we don't want this to be defined in a programmatic fashion instead of documentation, or in addition to documentation, right? But we could auto-generate documentation. We could auto-generate library to support creation and parsing validation of names.
I think that makes sense. I know like a long time ago, Benji had proposed something. I think there's probably still a ticket open in Open Lineage on how to programmatically define it. Unfortunately, he didn't get the opportunity to get to finish this, but I think it'd be great if someone picked it up to finalize like a proposal.
Julien, can you share that on Slack or somewhere?
I can share it. I have it.
Oh, you have it? Yeah, I would need to find it. But...
So we also had a thread about it in Slack here, and this is the proposal. This is how open data discovery, which is a project that I don't know if it's maintained anymore or not, but they took an approach of like creating a name generator. The only thing is that it's in Python, so it won't work for all the open lineage integrations, right? So I jokingly proposed that we write it in Rust, but I think it's not a joke. I think that might be the best place to do it in. And then there was another proposal that someone had of maybe having like a micro REST API as part of the client that you send like the platform to, and it responds with the name. Like you send the parameters and then it responds with the name as an option.
Julien, does this somehow overlap with the registry proposal, because I think you were thinking that integrators could register facets. Should they also be able to register names?
I think that's a good idea. Yes, and I think that came up. Did that come up in that Slack discussion? Yes. So these proposals, so the pull request 1702 is proposing to turn the markdown file into something that's more programmatic and kind of more explicitly define those things rather than text. I think the next step, it could be still a good first step to get from where we are in the spec. And I think we could start with that. And then when the registry gets implemented, it could be a good idea to say, and if let's say for vendors, right? Like if you're Google, you might say, oh, now we own the definition of uniqueness for BigQuery, for example. And we put it in the registry under Google. And this is how BigQuery is defined. And then if you need to add anything, it's maintained there. And I think that could be a good way to do this. Those things, they need to be stable, right? Like, so it's not like they can be changed after they've been defined, right? Because then what the spec brings is making sure each integration, whether they are in the Open Lineage project or not, follow the same standard for naming things. I mean, either way, whether it's in the registry or not, I would expect the people who own those data sources to come and make the PRs to add things to there. So yeah, I think we can still, I think as a first step, I think it's a good idea to decouple the registry from this and maybe start formalizing, and then if it needs to be moved, split into the registry, we can do that as well, right? And we'll have the first step, which is the most important, which is making it more programmatic rather than text that the human reads and interprets.
Now we just need someone to do the work.
I think whoever cares the most is welcome to pick it up. Yeah, I mean,
we need more engineers, hands-on engineers who care on this call, I feel.
Absolutely.
Yes. Too many managers.
I'm happy to collaborate. I am happy to try and find engineers, but I can't promise at the moment that we get to this.
Yeah, I do say, I do feel like if we have enough momentum and we kind of have a working group from different companies working on this together, that would help make the momentum. So Jens, happy to do that together.
Right. Yeah. Let's try at least.